Morning, everybody. We'd like to call to order this meeting of the Greater Dayton RTA today, April 16th, 2024. If we could all please stand for Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And could we have the roll call, please? Here.
Here.
Present.
Here. Here.
Here. Do have a quorum, so we can conduct regular business. First thing we will have is a approval of the consent agenda, Greater Dayton RTA laws. The trustees approved today's board meeting agenda. The agenda was mailed in advance of today's meeting. Are there any changes or amendments to the meeting minutes? With none, I will go ahead and declare a approval of the consent agenda.
So moved. Oh, you said you.
No, I'll declare that one. This next one we got, I guess. So approval of the March 5th, 2024 board meeting minutes. If anyone requests a reading of the meeting minutes, we'll ignore them. And are there any changes or corrections to the board meeting minutes? Hearing none, I entertain a motion to approve the board meeting minutes from March 5th, 2024.
Second. Or I moved.
Here we go.
That's why I was late.
There we go. There we got to move it a second. All in favor of approving the minutes?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Meeting minutes from the March 5th, 2024 meeting are approved. We're now going to committee reports, which will stay with me today. First, action item number 2, sale of scrap metal. Well, first, let me say the Finance and Personnel and Planning Committee held a meeting on March 19th. As a result, there are 3 action items for the board's consideration. Action item number 2 is the sale of scrap metal. Purpose of this procurement is to contract with the firm for local sale and disposal of scrap metal generated by operations line maintenance departments to generate revenue for Greater Dayton RTA. The scrap metal consists of bare copper, trolley wires, insulated, dirty copper trolley wires, and miscellaneous metals such as aluminum, galvanized steel, yellow brass, and copper. This project is consistent with RTA's core value of stewardship, and we help improve the environment by recycling and generating revenue that will increase our operating funds. Mr. Brown presented this action item at our meeting, and the supporting information is included in today's board package, and staff is available for any questions that the board may have. Hearing none, based upon the recommendation of the committee, I move that the Board of Trustees approve a contract award to A&B Iron and Metal for 1-year contract plus 2 one-year options for all of the described items based upon the American metal market pricing. Do I have a second?
Second.
It's been properly moved and second that action item number 2, sale of scrap, be approved. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Action item number 3, approval of equal employment opportunity policy, human resources policy number 6. RTA's equal employment opportunity, EEO policy number 6 is being updated to include pregnancy under the policy. Mr. Polachicchio presented this action item at the board meeting, and the supporting information is included in today's board package. Staff is available to answer any questions the board may have at this time. I don't think anybody have a question or a concern with that one, but Based upon the recommendation of the committee, I move that the Board of Trustees approve Equal Employment Opportunity Policy, Human Resources Policy number 6.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Action item number 4, approval of moving traffic violation policy, safety and training policy number 1. RTA's moving and traffic violation policy number 1 outlines a well-structured policy for how RTA employees are to report citations for any traffic violations received. The policy is being changed to a safety and training department policy since it spans the entire organization. Additional updates include changes to how the process works and updates to other information. Mr. Palachicchio presented this action item at the meeting and at the meeting, and the supporting information is included in today's board package. Staff is available to answer any questions that the board may have at this time. Hearing none, based upon the recommendations of the committee, I move that the Board of Trustees approve the moving traffic violations policy, safety, and training policy number 1.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. The January 2024 financial report, as well as the small purchases information, has been included in today's board package for your review. That concludes the report there, and we will move right along on to Planning Committee. Mr. Weckeser.
Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you. The Finance, Personnel, and Planning Committees met for a jointly held meeting on March 19th, and we do not have any action items to bring before you. At the meeting, Mr. Brandon Palachicchio provided a summary document of recent activities going on in the Customer and Business Development Department. Mr. Palachicchio shared that ridership showed no change in February when compared to 2023. He explained that upcoming service changes in May will include expanding services and introducing a new route to meet the changing needs of RTA customers across Montgomery County. Overall, RTA continues to meet or exceed national trends in ridership. That concludes my update, and I'm available if there are any additional questions.
Thank you, Mr. Wexler. Moving along, there is a request for executive session. The board requires an executive session at this time to discuss a personnel matter. May I have a motion to recess into executive session?
So moved.
If we could, hang on a second, we need to make that more specific. That's too generic. It needs to be go into executive discussion to discuss the review and the performance of a
Okay.
employee.
So the board, we require an executive session at this time. So we would like to discuss the review of the performance of an employee,
Of a public employee.
of a public employee.
So moved.
Second.
So it's been properly moved and second that we enter into executive session to discuss the performance of a public employee. Ms. Stanforth, could I have the roll, please?
Yes, sir. Mr. Lumpkin?
Yes.
Mr. Fulenkamp?
Yes.
Ms. Hairston?
Yes.
Mr. Mullins?
Yes.
Mr. Wackeser?
Yes.
And Mr. Williamson?
Yes.
Thank you.
We are now retiring into executive session, and we will come back and reconvene into our normal session afterwards. All right, I will entertain a motion to reconvene out of executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Been properly moved that we reconvene out of executive session. Could I have the roll, please? Ms. Stanforth?
Yes, sir. Mr. Lumpkin?
Yes.
Mr. Fulenkamp?
Yes.
Ms. Hairston?
Yes.
Mr. Mullins?
Yes.
Mr. Wackeser?
Yes.
Mr. Williamson?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, we are now reconvened back into our regular session. Where I've lost track. Oh, no. Now we will go on to our Chief Executive Officer report, Mr. Rosinski.
Yep, I just wanted to share two quick things. I all three county commissioners reached out to me individually to thank RTA for a spectacular job with the first four, which that was really proud to hear that from them individually. So we shared that with the team and the drivers and everything, and so that was great. And our Eclipse Day went off without a hitch. There was no real traffic issues, but it was a very cool event still nonetheless, and the employees had a great time.
Thank you, sir. The eclipse was awesome. Made you feel so, guy like myself doesn't often feel small. But it was a very, it's an experience. Now, moving on, is there any old business?
I have
No?
none.
And new business?
Yep, we have 2 new business items on the agenda.
We have one with the radio user service fees.
Right, so this is a routine procurement. We switched several years ago to be part of the state radio system so we can better communicate with all the different agencies and stuff.
I hate to interrupt you, but can you speak into the mic a little more? I'm having trouble hearing down
Okay,
here. I think
is
it's
this
sliders.
is this one working better for you? Good. No?
But
Okay.
I'll listen closely. That's better.
Okay.
Thank you.
So this is a routine procurement. We do it every couple of years. To be part of the state radio user system, we have to pay monthly fees. It's a 2-year agreement. Most of the agencies across the state use the same system. It allows us to communicate better with sheriffs, police departments, transit systems, whatever. The contract is up, and the new year will start July 1st and run through June 30th. They have not given us the rate yet, but they've given us a projected rate of $30 per unit per month. So our pricing is based on that. And we based it on a full complement of buses in service, which we're currently operating a few less buses. So our actual spend could be a little bit less. But if they raise the price a little higher, it could be a little bit more. So we built in a little contingency for this. So our recommendation is that we award to the State Department of Administrative Services radio user fees for our radios and our various consoles that we use to operate and communicate with for an annual estimated cost of $163,980 for a 2-year period plus a 10% contingency for an award total of $360,756. And like I said, the actual cost will be based on monthly use.
Question, how likely is it that it stays at this, that $30, or is it?
Well, that's the indication they've given us the rate's gonna be, but it has to be passed by state agency. Currently, it's 25, so.
All right, so, but we don't think it's gonna come back and be like 55 or 60 or anything like
Well,
that?
if it did, we would probably look at alternatives.
Okay, all right, that was my,
Now, is this, when you say schedule, it's based on our current schedule of ridership or how?
Vehicle, it's based on the vehicles we were using pre-COVID, the total we're basing this estimate on. Currently,
Okay,
we're
so
using
for
a few less
pre-COVID.
vehicles, so that's why we think we have a little bit of buffer in it. in
Okay,
our-
so it's pre-COVID, which we want a different schedule, which would be higher than what we're doing now, because we're still doing weekend schedules.
Correct. We're currently running 343 buses that have radios, and before we were at 433.
Okay,
Right.
so we would have the ability to increase our service if it became necessary.
Yes, correct.
any other questions? I entertain a motion to approve item number 1, radio user fees.
So moved.
Second,
And properly moving second that item number 1, radio user fees be approved. All in favor?
Aye.
aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries.
Good morning. The next action item you have in front of you is a update to the administrative compensation guide. Previously, you had approved this towards the end of last year, which was adjusting the rates for the individual bands. What this change is to change the different job positions that will typically fall within those bands. We just recently did a review of all the positions by position titles to see, okay, do we even have any positions that even have a starting rate in any of these pay grades or not? Or do we have positions now based off the changing wages and market that have since changed and moved up? So all we've done on this is it's just a change to the types of positions that you would typically see fall within those different pay grades. And none of these are necessarily a guarantee or change for any one individual or position. It's just to reflect what the actual rates, wages that we see are by position types.
Any questions on this action item? All right, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve item number 2, Administrative Employee Compensation Guide.
So moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second that we approve action item number 2, Administrative Employee Compensation Guide. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Moving right along. I didn't see any requests for public comment. Were there? Okay. All right, so moving on to board member comments or announcements. Starting here with Mr. Williamson.
I just want to echo the comments about the first 4. I had guests in from out of town, and we rode the bus over from Carillon Park over to the arena, and everybody was just thrilled. It was seamless. So, job well done to everybody involved.
No comment.
No comment.
No comment.
I'd just like to say, I was over at my daughter's apartment complex the other day, and one of our smaller buses was dropping off an elderly lady, and this driver took it all the way. As far as I was concerned, he helped her get off the bus, helped her carry her bags to her front door, and saw her in the front door. And I thought that was really great service by that individual driver to do that for that elderly lady. I appreciate it as somebody who had an elderly mother and stuff. So that our drivers and our employees are doing that, I think is very commendable. Just wanted to put that out there.
Thank you. I also want to echo job well done around the first 4. We had some executives in, and my brother's company also had some executives in that came in for first 4 to where they rode over from Carillon, and it was seamless for them. They all had a good time, and our New York City people were just surprised that we had public transit here in little old Dayton, Ohio. But they were like, so everyone was impressed with how smoothly that ran. So job well done once again by the RTA staff and services on the first 4. That being said, the next board meeting will be on May 7th.
Mr. Lumpkin, at this time, I don't believe we will have a need to have that meeting, so
Okay.
that will likely be canceled, but we'll do that officially right before.
All right. If it is officially canceled, then we will make that known to the public. Next committee meeting will be April 18th.
That's investment.
I'm sorry, that's the investment. Yeah, you're right. You were correct. These are the committee meetings. The jointly held finance meeting will be May 21st. With that being said, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second that we adjourn today's meeting of the Greater Dayton RTA Board of Trustees. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? We are now adjourned.